Welcome back to London Beautiful Life, and today we're at the Jitters Premiere in central London. So we're at Jitters Premiere. How does it feel for it to be done and you're about to show it?
Do you know what? I'm so overwhelmed and so nervous right about now, but look, we've come a long way, right? To make an independent film, it's not easy, it's not simple. It took a long time to complete and to get right. And also we're competing with the elite, the industry, you know, and we don't just want to come across like independent filmmakers. We want to come across like artists, filmmakers, storytellers. It's surreal, but I'm profoundly touched by it all, honestly, and I'm really impressed by the turnout that we're having.
So what drew you to this script, and what made you be like, I really want to be a part of this film?
Well, look, playing an American is always a hard thing to tackle, right? Playing an American and playing a lead it blew my mind, but I had to do it. You know, being a British actor, being a British Italian actor, I thought this is something I'm going to have to do to compete again with the industry and those brilliant actors that are working right now, who are working a lot right now. There's something I'm going to have to do to meet that level, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I've done just that.
How long was filming?
So on and off around 6 months, because the production lost me. I went on a national tour. I was on a play, on a big play, and I couldn't quite complete the film, so they had to wait for me. I had to kind of like, you know, I was really careful with continuity, but so they lost me, and then we went back to filming. So overall, around 6 months. Yeah,
so what I was going to ask was, how do you keep the full continuity, how do you keep that accent the same from maybe doing something for a month and then having a bit of a break because you're doing something else and then going back to that accent? Was it quite difficult?
Yeah, look, this is something that a lot of people ask me. Staying in accent, you have to stay in accent when you're on set. So when you're on set, you have to consistently speak with an American accent. When you're maybe away from set, you might come out of it when you're speaking to your family or your loved ones or whatever. But I'm quite lucky because my family are American, even though I was raised in Southeast London. My mother's American, my father's American, so I always hear them, right? But I made a conscious choice that when I'm on set, I speak with an American accent. Continuity-wise, I had long hair, I had short hair, I have short hair now, but I had to kind of make sure that the other production couldn't cut my hair, so we were just sort of like really kind of careful with everything, really. So hopefully you won't see too much bad continuity. I hope not, anyway.
Is there a day that really stood out to you as well, that you're like, that you really enjoyed filming? It could be maybe a really gory scene or a really nice scene.
That's a really good question, actually. So when you get the opportunity to film in a studio and you've got studio lights and all these sort of like studio facilities, you know, I had the opportunity to work in a huge fish tank. That's not actually a fish tank, but it looks like a fish tank, right? Lots of artists, lots of actors, musicians have filmed in this fish tank. And it's a really big scene in the film, which I won't talk about now, but you'll see it in the film. And that's when you realise and you say to yourself, wow, actually, you know what? I'm an actor. This is what comes with the job, you know. And yeah, but you know what? There are so many moments that stand out. I can't just pinpoint one, but that's a good moment.
Also, when it comes to filming, when you're filming like anything, do you picture what it can look like on screen? And is there times it's completely different to what you pictured it to be?
Physically or visually?
Visually. And so when you're filming it in your mind, you've obviously visually got something in your mind.
Yeah, again, you know, it's another difficult question. You know, I look the way I look, but the director has a different vision, right? So I might turn up on set and say, oh, I think the character should wear this, or he should have his hair this way. The director's always got a different vision, so it's meeting him halfway and building the characters together, and then letting it play out. And yeah, and you know, as you can see him, he's got a low ponytail, and he looks the part. You know, he looks all right.
And obviously, working with Marc, what was it like working with Marc?
Amazing. He's the most generous director I've ever worked with, apart from being a very dear friend of mine. Artistically, we don't clash. We have passionate differences, but we get there in the end, and we produce nothing but great work. And this is my third film with him. Yeah.
Is this your favourite one to film with her?
Absolutely.
And also, obviously you've been in soaps. What's the difference between working on a film and then working on a soap, which is such a machine? Well, they're both machines in different ways.
So I guess the same thing is that you're in front of the camera with cast and crew and so on and so forth, yeah? But I think that when you're on film, you have that artistic license to kind of come off book and maybe use certain words that you can't on soap, because on soap it's a bit PG, right? Whereas on film you can get away with certain things, like the odd swear word that you might hear.
And also, obviously 30 years of Hollyoaks, what was it like being a part of that?
I love being a part of Hollyoaks. I created, myself and the producer Brian Kirkwood at the times, we created a fantastic character, Ziggy. He wasn't a part of the family, but we created him, and I had the most fun playing him. And I think, judging from people that still stop me on the streets, I think a lot of people loved Ziggy, and I love playing him. And yeah, he's one to remember, that's for sure.
So obviously Jitters Premiere, how does it feel to be here and have your film finally out?
Do you know what? It's a little bit surreal, to be honest. It is, because it's the whole filming process is such a long process. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, being here and seeing all this craziness, it's like, I mean, it's a bit much, isn't it? You don't need all this, do you know what I mean? But no, I'm really excited. Really.
So what drew you to this script, and what really stood out to you about this script?
I mean, it is a bit out there. It is a bit out there, and I think, do you know what? This was handed to me. I'm going to say a year ago. Handed to me a year ago, and I thought, this is great. AI, yeah, it's kind of coming in, and in the last 6 months, it is nothing but AI. Like, so this is like crazy good timing. I don't know if he's a mastermind genius and he's planned the whole thing. I don't know, but it's great timing.
Yeah, Scream 7, their film's all about AI as well, so it's great timing. Scream 7, it's all about AI as well, so it's great timing.
I've seen Scream 7 yet, I ain't seen it, and I didn't know that. That's really interesting, but I mean, we already know that there are so many films that incorporate AI in terms of in the story, but this is something that, I mean, look, it's not really been done, you know? It's playing on certain ideas and getting influence from certain things, but it is unique in its own way, and it's just, oh, man, I love it, man. I love it. It's just so cool. And being like, it was quite hard to play like this. Sorry, it was quite hard. It's quite hard to play this guy that just didn't want to know anything. It was like, nah, this is a load of B. This is a load of BS. I'm not having it. But then comes around in the end. But it's fun, man.
So what was it like working with Marc as well?
I've worked with Marc for about 5-6 years now, and we're really good friends. Really good friends. So, I mean, obviously natural. We are close, we're very passionate about the industry, both very creative, and when it comes to something like this, it's a brainstorming session as much as a creative process. Do you know what I mean? So we're running a scene, and then how can we make that like a little bit better? I feel like coming in from here, or having just that moment, do you know what I mean? So and that's what really excites me about the whole creative side of things, is that when you're working with someone who you are close with, you've got the room there to say, look, and put over your suggestions. And so, to answer your question, amazing. Like, Marc's great, he's a great friend, and we've known each other for years, so it's just easy.
So actually being friends with the director, and really good friends with the director, does he give you creative freedom to do stuff?
Well, I'm actually a kind of producer on Jitters as well, so in terms of creativity and creative freedom, yeah, to a certain degree. I think, we're following scripts here, we're following story. That's what we're here to do, we're here to tell a story. But if something doesn't feel right and it's in the gut, it doesn't feel right, I always think that it's right to say something, to stand up and say, I'm doing this is what's on paper, but I feel like it'll be better if it was this way, or maybe we can do this, just suggest things again. And he's very open to that, which is nice, and everyone was in the team, and left, right and centre coming up with suggestions, and that's really nice, and just everyone's here to do the same thing, and that's to make the best project possible, do you know what I mean? So yeah.
And as well as working with Marc, you had an incredible cast as well. What was it like working with the cast?
I can't hear a word you're saying.
And as well as working with Marc, you had an incredible cast that you worked with. What was that like?
Oh God, I have met some people who are now friends for life. I'm telling you, honestly, I could name a few, but everyone's performances were just incredible, absolutely incredible. and it's been an absolute honour. It's been an honour to work with them, and I've actually worked on another project with some people as well from Jitters, which is really nice. And it's just like sort of, we've created this family and we're, expanding in this sort of independent world, and it's just fun, man. I love it.
And when you do films or you're on set on a show or whatever, your social media as well is huge. I follow you on social media. A lot of it seems to be at home. How do you have to take breaks from it when you're filming?
My social media is a little bit different, where I do a lot of scheduling and I backlog a lot of stuff. So everything's done. When I'm filming. This is what I love doing. This is what it's about. This is my end goal, is to be in this creative industry and this space. So as to some degree that the social media is the bigger thing at the moment, in my mind it's not the bigger priority. Like doing this and creating stuff that's going to be on screen forever, that's like the priority. So yeah.
So we're at the Jitters Premiere. How does it feel to be here?
It's been amazing. Look at that, like the buzzing of the place, man. Everyone's buzzing, everyone's excited to see the film. I'm excited to see it. I'm so happy for Marc. Like, I'm so proud of him and James and the rest of the team. Like that, he has an idea and he makes it to fruition. There's some people that talk a good game and there's some people that do a good game, and Marc's one of those people, And so just big up to Aptitude Films and everyone around for them.
What's it like working with Marc?
Sorry?
What's it like working with Marc?
Oh, it's relentless. Yeah, Marc is like, he's on it. He's definitely on it. Like Marc, he'll call me the night before that. We're filming tomorrow. Be ready. We're gonna be here. There could be some, he is super organised. He's got his team around him. I've known him for over a decade, from his first films till now, and it's just a blessing that he still calls me in to join the team and to create with him. So yeah, it's great working with him though. He's a man of vision. That's what I love about him, man. He's a man that. He has something in his heart and in his mind, and then some people, it can stay on the laptop or stay in your head.
But when it comes to for people that who always wanted to know what films are like, obviously I know the filming side's shorter than obviously the post-production side and the pre-production side. But how relentless is the filming side when you are on set? What are the hours? Were the hours long on this film?
So I did get the.
So were the hours long on this film when you did the filming for this film?
Yeah. Well, being on set with the rest of the actors is so much fun. It's what happens between or after takes. You know what I mean?
What happened?
What happens on set stays on set. No, we've just been having such a ball. We had such a laugh. We've had some amazing locations as well, whereby I've been in the locations in the flats, and I'll be like, oh my days, this place is insane. How he's got some of these locations, I will not know. But it's just been amazing fun.
Well, actually, what was the day that really stood out to you?
So we went to a location where one of the rooms in there, was interesting. They must have had some interesting parties there, you know what I mean? Because I'm there and I'm looking around this room and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. They must be a loving couple, you know what I mean? So, but it's just credit to him that he can find these locations and find these places whereby in and around London, there's and it added to the film, it added to the ambience of it, and it added to the beauty of this film.
Jitters, we're at your premiere, the film you're in. How did it all come about?
I actually know Marc personally outside of the film and television world, and he approached me saying he's doing this really cool movie, and it's something really different to what I've done before. So I was like, yeah, let's give it a go, let's see the script. And he's like, Rich, I want you to do it. So yeah, we ended up doing it, man. It's so cool.
When it comes to horror films as well, what do you think? Why do you think the public love horror films so much?
Why the public
love horror films?
I think it just keeps you on the edge of your seat, and not just because obviously I'm doing this one, but I love Jitters because it's very different from other horror movies that's out there right now, and I think it's relevant in the world we're living in. When you watch it, it makes sense.
What do you reckon fans are going to expect from this?
Again, I think they want to be kept on the edge of their seat, but I don't think they're ready for the story and how the story actually evolves with horror, especially with AI coming out. So it just makes perfect sense.
And also your character, tell us a bit more about your character and why you were so drawn to the script.
I like this one just because the character that I play is obviously, I don't want to give away too much, but it sort of takes over your life. And then once the director told me what happens to my character, I thought it was really, really interesting.
So I do have to ask, Married at First Sight, how was that whole experience?
Oh, it was an absolutely fantastic experience. I honestly, I couldn't have asked for more. It was really, really fun.
So before you went on the show, what did your friends and family think? I guess you have to keep some things quiet, but were they like, you're getting married to someone at first sight?
Firstly, I think we all know that I didn't keep anything quiet. I mean, I did because it's an NDA. They were all really supportive, actually. I think because I'd already been married before, it wasn't as much of a big deal. It wasn't like my first marriage on national television. It's my second.
And what was the whole filming process like? Is it crazy? Was it long hours?
Long hours, crazy, but so much fun. I think at the beginning it was a little bit weird, but once you got into it was like hanging out with your friends all day, like the crew, the cast, everyone. So it was just like a big family. It was great.
And for those who are going to go into it next series, what advice would you give them?
Advice? Oh my God, to just completely be yourself, throw caution to the wind and just be you.
And then reunion. Yeah. Seemed a bit crazy. Tell us about that. Why was it so crazy?
I just think there'd been so much happened between the last reunion and the final reunion, and lots of us hadn't spoken or seen each other, so it was all just pent up.
What is it like now? Is it a bit cooler with the cast, or is it still a bit rocky?
I think everything's calm now. I think everyone's kind of split off into the groups they're going to be in, but it's, no hostility anywhere. We all just wish each other well.
So do you still speak to David?
No, I do not. No, but I wish him all the best, and I'm really happy for everything that he does achieve, yeah.
And also, do you find it awkward when you do bump into the cast? I guess if the ones you're fine with are great, but the ones that maybe you're not so fine with, is it awkward? Do you guys speak, or do you just ignore each other?
I guess I'm fine with most of the cast, so it's not really that awkward, and the few members that I don't really speak to, we just pretend that we don't exist. There's normally enough people at these events that you can just pretend someone never existed, you know?
And when it comes to welfare as well, what is the welfare like?
Oh my God, the welfare team's exceptional. Danny, Laura specifically, absolutely, Harry couldn't ask for more, honestly. They were on call at all times. It was a really supportive environment, yeah.